for this reading, what we're going to do, we're going to go to the early 1990s and we're going to read one of the best story arcs, like epics, told in comic books from that period and from really any period. Okay, and what we're going to do, we're going to read Silver Surfer number 50. And this is one of the, I don't know if it's one of the first, but it's one of the gimmick covers from that period. I'm not sure how popular gimmick covers were in the past. They weren't really prominent that much, but in the late 1980s, early 1990s, gimmick covers became one of the ways that a lot of comic book publishers were, increasing their sales. So they did a lot of gimmick covers, and this is one of the great gimmick covers that actually fit the topic at hand, which is a silver foil cover for the Silver Surfer, right? So that sort of works, and sort of the titles embossed and issue number 50 is embossed and stuff. And this issue is basically the storyline that sold me on the Silver Surfer. So I wasn't at the time collecting Silver Surfer or reading Silver Surfer, but I knew this story arc was coming up, and I love Thanos. Okay, so what I ended up doing when I read this issue, because I knew it was gonna sort of the prequel to the Infinity Gauntlet, right? So I picked up this book and I read this issue, and when I read this issue, I absolutely fell in love with the Silver Surfer. This series anyway, and I've gone back and I've picked up, as I've shown in previous videos, I picked up the original series as well, most of the issues in the original series anyway. But after I read this issue, I went back and bought the whole Silver Surfer run, and I found out where Thanos had made his appearance. He came back from the dead. With a lot of comic book characters, they come back from the dead, and Thanos came back from the dead, reintroduced into the Marvel universe with Silver Surfer issue number 34, I believe, and 35. Okay, and the Infinity Gauntlet made his first appearance in Silver Surfer issue number 44, which that's why I was very pleased when I went back and I bought all the original Silver Surfer runs. Because that's how I was able to figure out where, when Thanos came back, when the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet was. And one thing you have to appreciate from that period, from pre-internet, really easy access to information, is when you were collecting comics before the internet gave you access to all this information. You really had to be well versed in comic books. You had to know where characters made their first appearance and who they were related to, because the information wasn't there. There was no wiki, there was no comic book websites dedicated to information, putting all this information together. So you would get this information from comic book stores, or the owners of comic book stores, or talking with people who were following a certain character in a comic shop. So it was really important to sort of build your connections and try to figure out where these characters came from, when they died, when they got their powers, and what issues were important. So that's sort of my introduction to the Silver Surfer to a certain degree. I had read Silver Surfer stories before, but I never really fell in love with it until issue number 50. And as I mentioned, this is the prequel to the Infinity Gauntlet. Okay, and if you were following comic book movies and media, you know that there is the Infinity Gauntlet movie coming out, and I believe it's going to be a two-parter through the Avengers. Okay, and Marvel's been laying down the foundation for the Infinity Gauntlet movie for at least 3 or 4 movies, right? Where they've shown in Guardians of the Galaxy, we met I guess it was, I forget the name, but the collector. And before that there was in Avengers with Loki having his staff, the Infinity Gem is in there, and there's a whole bunch of movies leading up to the Infinity Gauntlet. And if you've never read the Infinity Gauntlet, the whole series is absolutely fantastic. The storyline for the Infinity Gauntlet is now again, I'm gonna mention this again if you're watching this, if you don't want spoilers, the odds are I'm gonna give you spoilers for this. So if you don't want these spoilers, you need to click this little I'm going to do a little annotation here to take you to reading issue number 50. Okay, so as far as the Infinity Gauntlet goes, the reason that it's come to be, the reason that Thanos started seeking out the Infinity Gems to put the Infinity Gauntlet together to become basically the most powerful being in the universe was because Thanos had fell in love. Okay, he'd fallen in love with death, and he wanted to please death, so he decided to kill half of every living being in the universe to, please death, because he'd fallen in love with death. And it's a crazy story, and it's incredibly well told. Okay, so Silver Surfer number 50 is the prequel to Infinity Gauntlet, which ran for 6 issues, and the whole story arc for the Infinity Gauntlet, if you're interested in following it, which I've done and read a long time ago when I realized what was going on, I went back and I read all the issues. Starts off with Silver Surfer number 34, I believe, and 35, where Thanos comes back, and through a few random issues and a few different sets, we find out why Thanos is looking for the Infinity Gems and how he's collecting them, stuff like this. And somewhere between the issue number 34 with Silver Surfer and 35, I believe after 35 or after a few issues after that, the story went into Thanos Quest. Okay, and Thanos Quest, if you've never read it, is 2-issue graphic novels, prestige format. I guess they're not graphic novels, but they're prestige format. This is book 1, this is book 2, and it catalogs, it sort of shows us how Thanos is able to put together the Infinity Gauntlet. And this 2 set is a magnificent read. Okay, this 2 set is the reason I picked up Silver Surfer number 50, and especially because I knew Jim Starlin and Ron Lim were working on it, because they did an amazing job in Thanos Quest book number 1 and Thanos Quest book number 2. Okay, so that's sort of the history of the Infinity Gauntlet and how it leads up to book number 50. Okay, so Silver Surfer number 34, number 35, and a few other issues. Basically, you should be reading all of Silver Surfer from number 34 all the way up to number 50 if you want to have a nice build up to the Infinity Gauntlet. And in between there, before you read number 50, you should be reading, actually before you read Silver Surfer number 44, okay, because during number 44 he actually has the Infinity Gauntlet, is Thanos Quest book number 1 and book number 2, which builds up to this. And I hope I got that sequence right. If you do a search online, you'll be able to find the sequence of the reading order that you need to do to be able to get the story in one coherent read. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is read Silver Surfer number 50, and this comic is actually, it really is, it's a fantastic read, and the cover is done by Ron Lim as well. Okay, he's got it dated as 1990, but I think this book came out in 91. We'll take a look at the fine print and find out. Okay, So let's crack this thing open. 50th anniversary special. And at the time when this thing came out, you know, it was seriously a buzz on this, and I actually ended up buying, you know, a handful of printings on this, and this one I believe is unread. It's a beautiful copy, absolutely mint. It's magnificent. So we're gonna read a mint copy of the Silver Surfer number 50. Beautiful cover. Okay, so featuring secrets from surfers past. And I'm not going to give you any spoilers for this. We're just going to straight out read it, because I don't want to give any spoilers for this one. I was very pleasantly surprised when I read this for the first time, and I hope you guys feel the same. So let's take a look at this. Let's read the fine print again. There's a lot, so the fine print for this is long. Silver Surfer Volume 3. So this is the third time Silver Surfer's appeared in his own series. The first one was 18 issues, I believe. It went from it came out in the was it late 1960s? I think late 1960s. Silver Surfer 1 to 18, and then there was a Silver Surfer one shot in the 1980s, I believe, and this is volume number 3. So volume 3, number 50, June 1991. So Ron Lim did the cover for this a year before. He did it in 1990, or at least 6 months before this thing what came out in print, right? So it was a long series, a long story arc that they put together. It's epic, really. By Marvel Comics, Terry Stewart, President Stan Lee, publisher Michael Hudson, Group Vice President, Publishing Office of Publication, Park Avenue, New York, second class postage, New York, additional mail offers, published monthly, copyright 1991 by Marvel Entertainment Group, all rights reserved. $1.50 per copy, $2 in the US, $2 in Canada. Subscription rate for 12 issues is $12 in US, $17 in Canada, and $24 for foreigners. Well, anybody outside of Canada and the United States is foreign. No similarity between names and characters, blah blah, that are alive, may exist, is purely coincidental. This periodical may not be sold except by authorized dealers, and is sold subject to the conditions that it shall not be sold or distributed with any part of the covers. Oh wow, they brought this back. Nor manipulated condition. Silver Surfer, including all prominent characters featured in this issue and the distinctiveness, likeliness thereof, is a trademark of Marvel Entertainment Group. Postmaster sends server changes, send address changes to Silver Surfer mail, and it gives you the info for that. And this is the newsstand edition. It's got the bar logo here. The direct edition, which I have copies of, it's got like, you know, logo image here. I forget what the image is. I think it's Thanos and Silver Surfer, but I can't remember. Okay, so let's take a look at this, and just to give you the story of this, yeah. So you need sort of the what's going on here, and what's going on here is Silver Surfer knows that Thanos has acquired the Infinity Gauntlet, and he knows what Thanos is about to do, which is kill half of the universe. So he's zooming his way to Earth to get the help, get the aid of Earth's heroes, because Earth is considered in the Marvel universe to be sort of a mecca of superpowered beings, right? So he's going to Earth to get the help of other superheroes and super beings to defeat Thanos. Okay, And while on his way, he's getting hit by something. Okay, so here we go. I was nearing Earth's moon. I'd almost made it. The planet's heroes had to be warned. Thanos had gained the sixth infinity gem and now possesses godlike power. So close. Beautiful panel work here. Well, it gets even better, but you'll see. So he's falling to the moon. Boom. Blood. Let's give you the panels. Norin, time to wake up. So Silver Surfer, he's sort of knocked unconscious as he's remembering his past. And we learn more about the Silver Surfer, his history. In a flash, it all comes back to me. I instantly recognize my old room and the man standing by the door. Jartran Rad. Are you planning on sleeping the entire day away? No, father. Then let's be up and at them, boy. Look at the posters in the background. Right? There's a guy on a surfboard surfing the stars. He's got a helmet. So that might have been one of his idols or a movie character or something from his planet. This is a precious commodity. Time is a precious commodity, one not to be wasted. When you reach my age, you'll realize just how little of it you have. So every moment must be spent in the glorious pursuit of knowledge, for without knowledge, life is not worth living. So small, eh? And you don't want to waste your life, do you, Norin? No, father. Surfer, time to wake up. Oh, beautiful splash page. Look at this. Double splash page. Thanos. Enter Thanos. Deeply buried secrets. We all have them, sometimes hiding them even from ourselves. Who? Thanos. In what was once the flesh, amazing, no? My newly acquired powers enable me to even reanimate the stone husk that was once mine. To use as a weapon against me? Perhaps only to delay you. Mine is a delicately balanced future, one I will not have upset. Let's take a look at it. So it was written by Jim Starlin. Pencils by Ron Lim. Inks by Tom Christopher. Letter is Ken Brusnak. Color by Tom Vincent. Editor is Craig Anderson, and editor-in-chief is Tom DeFalco. Okay. And Tom DeFalco was editor-in-chief for Marvel for a while. His name appears in a lot of books. Beautiful. Let's read. So, what was the last words Thanos spoke? Let's read that. Perhaps only to delay you. Mine is a delicately balanced future. Only I will, one I will not have upset. Especially by you, one of my more fascinating foes. I sense that you and I are alike in some ways. Are we not both expatriates far from our home worlds? Yet I suspect greatly differing reasons are responsible for our respective exiles. The killing of your own mother is the reason you can never again return home. A youthful indiscretion, the first of many murders, forever the righteous hero. Thanos says. Never the forgiving soul. Forgiving, he says. Is that a raw nerve I hear tingling? One of the best grins in the comic book world is Thanos' grin. His smile. So evil, so cunning. He enjoys everything he does. Oh, and the Silver Surfer zaps him. Thanos just nails him. Yes. Yes, most definitely a tender area, unwittingly probed. How interesting, how very interesting. With the mind gem, I could extract the secret memory for inspection and examination, but the process, unfortunately, would leave you a drooling vegetable. So he's got all the infinity gems already, right? And you're too complex, entertaining an adversary to needlessly destroy. That's the beauty of reaching divine status. You can afford to allow your enemies to live. In my case, Thanos, that may prove a fatal mistake. Nails him again. Let the game begin, Thanos says. The Rocketeer. Fun movie. Huge splash page. Spiral into like a Silver Surfer's past, maybe. Let the past be unearthed. Let the past be unearthed. Let the heart be opened. Let the soul reveal its hidden recesses. Norrin Rad, share with me that which is you. Norrin, you never allow yourself to have any fun. Why are you always studying so hard? Shalabal, How many times have you asked me that same question? And how many times have I answered it? But just look out the window at the marvelous world of worlds. Our world, Zenla. Our people have achieved near perfection through the marvels of science. Zenla is a gem in the heavens, paradise. Our people are so advanced, no one ever need again suffer the tedium of labor in order to live comfortably. Yes, ours is a computerized wonderland. Lauren says. Robots harvest or synthesize the food we eat, construct the clothes we wear, and the homes we live in. No human hand is ever dirtied. Computers teach us just enough to exploit the system for a carefree and comfortable existence, a life without purpose. Zenla coddles his children from wombs to tombs, without ever allowing them to fly. Heavy words for a kid. Which has robbed us of what, my son? Our spirit, Father. Yes, our spirit, our will to reach out into the unknown for answers has atrophied. We have become a weak and soulless lot, pampered in this condition by mechanical nannies, a once proud race wasted away. Come, my son. I have reserved time on the mental teleportation element for us. There's a fascinating section of early thermodynamics I want you to see. I'll see you later, Shalabam. Yes, later. Oh. And the image shatters. You never cease to astound me, surfer. You're actually resisting my gentle mental probe. This is not a wise move. Punches him. I do not react well to resistance. I trust I've made my point. Now, where were we? This is Thanos' eyes, mind probing into Surfer's mind, right? That's cool. Nice splash. You must grow up to be like them. You must not grow up to be like them, Norin. That's what the father says. Utopia of sorts, I guess. The easy life has caused our people to lose their way. Tomorrow holds no mystery or promise for them. Only the thrill of the moment matters to them. Small wonder so many of our youth abandon themselves to mind altering adventures. Pitiful, no? And such a waste. Sooner or later, this world will once again need fine young minds like your own. Things cannot go on the way they have. A change is coming. Stagnation is not a state easily maintained. It always comes back to your father, doesn't it? I never cared for mine. But Jartran was your role model and your God. I can't wait to see where all this is taking us. Oh, he's coming of adulthood, getting rid of his hair. Today, Norin, Rad, you enter manhood. Let all rejoice. Every culture has a ceremony, right? Manhood, womanhood ceremony. Adulthood ceremony, I guess. If only your mother could have been here to see this. I miss her terribly sometimes, Father. Elmar was a fragile flower, unable to handle even Zenla's simple existence. I tried to share my strength with her. I really did. I remember, Silver Surfer says. We are all prisoners in a silk-lined cell. It's surprising the suicide rate isn't higher than it is. So his mother killed himself. And the science regents voted unanimously to bestow this year's Delta Award on Jartran Rad for his invention, the psionic transmitter. This device has revolutionized the recreational arts, a true scientific breakthrough. You must be very proud, Father. A mere minor improvement in a leisure system I loathe. It's nothing more than that. I could do much more if only I could get proper funding from the science regents. In the meantime, I tinker with dream machines. Hopefully, you, my son, will not have such stifling obstacles thrown in your path. Greatness awaits you, Norin. Greatness, huh? Your father had grand plans for you. I wonder what he would think if he could see you now. Would he be proud? You subvert my memories to fit your preconceptions. Do I, you fiend? So we try to nail it again. Telegraphing your anger will be the death of you, surfer. But then, unbridled emotion has always been your Achilles heel. Hey Norin, I see your father is in the news again. Doesn't look good. The day's lead story. Delta Award winner accused of idea theft. The science region announced today that they have discovered Jartron Rad utilized in his research on psionics. Extensive research done by Azalas Flantz without authority or acknowledgement. Discussions are underway on whether Rad should be allowed to retain his Delta Award. Everything's been blown out of proportion. The media will tire of the story and everything will be forgotten. Tell me about it, Father. It was a small factor in an extremely complex equation. An obscure bit of work you fail to credit to its creator. I forgot. Forgot. Oh, Father. Oh, his hero is disappointed. Son, wait. Let me explain. And he walks away. So your father had feet of clay, did he? A sad lesson all children must someday learn. You monster. We are all monsters of some sort, surfer. It's just that some of us have the courage to be completely open about it. Boom, nails him with the surfboard. Boom. You can see it coming from the background. Boom. Then digest this, Lord Thanos. No matter your age or the extent of your power, there are always new lessons to be learned and new tricks to be tried. And sins to be paid for. It's Thanos' head right there. The rock head anyway. What? Thanos' arm grabs him. By the stars, this cannot be. He's putting himself back together again. Just holding the server upside down. With godhood, nearly all things become possible. Only one goal eludes me, my grasp: patience. Throws him into the rock wall. Now, my gleaming yet tarnished foe, I require an end to your little tale of woe. Once again, open yourself to me. Confession, it is said, is good for the soul. No. Norin, thank the heavens I found you. I've been looking everywhere. What? I want to reach you first. It just came over the news broadcast. What did? It's your father. What about him? They found him in his apartment. The authorities are saying it was. Oh, look at this. Suicide. Shot himself in the head. Will you inform the authorities that I'll be along later? I will attend to all their arrangements later. Yes, I have some work to finish first. Oh, whatever you say, Norin. He starts crying. Jartran Rad's prophecy eventually comes to pass. A major change occurs to life on Zenla. Galactus cometh. There's Norin, Silver Surfer down there. Right. Rise, puny creature. Rise and face the monumental majesty of Galactus. And in exchange for sparing your world, you agree to become my herald. That was a deal the surfers are, so be it. Right, that was a deal the Silver Surfer struck with Galactus. Galactus had come to Zanla, Silver Surfer's home world, to consume it. Right, he also did that for Galactus, did that for Earth, but Fantastic Four, Reed Richards, I don't know, I can't remember if they beat him or defeated him. I should read that story again, but Basically, Galactus, the way he lives, he goes around the universe and consumes planets. That's where he gets his energy from. So he cut a deal with Norrin, so he would become Galactus's herald. So he would fly around the universe and find planets that Galactus could consume. Okay, so be it. And in exchange for sparing and in exchange for sparing your world, you agree to become my herald. So be it. Thanos is last. Awesome. Behold the great and noble Silver Surfer. Behold the man who sacrificed everything to save his world from destruction. But couldn't spare a single kind word that would have saved his own father. And he calls me a monster. You're a hypocrite and a fraud, Norrin Rad. Your cloak of moral superiority is nothing but a sham. How many other dark secrets have you buried so deeply that even you cannot remember them? Many, I suspect. Some cosmic saint you turn out to be. At least I let the light of day shine upon my crimes. I've never tried to hide what I am, especially from myself. This must be more of Galactus's doing. Yes, I noticed that your former master did a bit of soul altering to make a better herald of you. But I saw no trace of his handiwork on this memory. This denial is entirely of your own making. Did you also see? Did you also see this coming? Boom! Destroys Thanos' stone body again. Let us see how well you reassemble this husk once it is reduced to atomic ash. Show us your magic now, villain. Rise again from these ashes. I could if I wished to, but I see no point in it. It is apparent that this entertaining interlude has played itself out. You may now go on your way and warn Earth of my glorious and imminent return. But remember this, Surfer. I alone have looked into the darkest corners of your soul and know you for what you truly are. He laughs again. Awesome. Just the master. Boom! It destroys Thanos' stone head. Truth sometimes wears a grotesque face. a face all mirrors find too hideous to reflect, too dark to perceive. So many truths, the reality of what I am now and what I used to be. How do they coexist? Is the present held hostage to the past? Does one mistake dilute the good of 1,000 honorable deeds? Hero or scoundrel, saint or sinner, genuine or fake? Must everything be either good or evil, black or white? Is there no room for shades of gray? So many questions, so few answers. Just too much for one man to handle, to digest. And in the end, that is all I truly am. Flawed, imperfect, just a man. So he flies to Earth from the moon and falls through skylights. Okay, and just so you know, where he falls is Doctor Strange, his home, Doctor Strange's home, right? And I believe in the first reading we did for the set, we read the origin of Doctor Strange, right? In Strange Tales number 115, right? And we found out where Doctor Strange came from, and Silver Surfer number 50 is, I guess it shows us some of the history of the Silver Surfer as well. And for the origin of Doctor Strange, when we read it, we found out that Strange initially wasn't a very nice person, but then circumstances and personal choices turned him into Doctor Strange, and he became basically the go-to person for mystical arts and for advice and help. And that's exactly what the Silver Surfer has done, right? He's come to Doctor Strange for help, and that's where he's falling down, into Doctor Strange's home. Okay, to be continued in the Infinity Gauntlet number 1, and then come right back here next issue. Galactus will be waiting. Super cool. Super cool. Should we open up Infinity Gauntlet number 1? Yeah, let's open up Infinity Gauntlet number 1 and see if it shows the Silver Surfer and Doctor Strange's in Doctor Strange's home. Take a quick peek at Infinity Gauntlets number 1. And this one too is an unread copy. When this came out, I grabbed a few copies of this as well. I knew it was going to be, well, I just was loving the series right off the get-go, right? So let's take a look. We're not going to read this. I just want to see where this leads to. Stan Lee presents the Infinity Gauntlet. There can be no denying it. You are supreme. Anything you wish to be, you are. Anything you wish is. Nothing in this universe dares challenge the calm. There be only one word to describe you. So Mephisto, and this character here made his first appearance in, if I remember correctly, he made his first appearance in the original Silver Surfer run, and this is, I mean, fantastic. It's written by Jim Starlin. Pencils is by George Perez. Joseph Rubinstein with Tom Christopher, the inker for the Silver Surfer. Number 50 did this too. Sweet. So Mephisto is using kind words to describe Thanos. And they have a little interaction. This is definitely worth reading. But here's Doctor Strange. Okay, and that's his home. That's where the Silver Surfer fell through, right? And that's his, I forget this guy's name. What's his Wong? He's Doctor Strange's help. He's like floating in the air reading his books. They're talking and crack. They hear a sound upstairs and Doctor Strange zooms up to find the Silver Surfer. Super cool. And Infinity Gauntlet is fantastic. If you've never read it, it's a great story, and the way it ends is absolutely brilliant. Very, very, like, brilliantly done. And these are the 6 Infinity Gems, right? The soul, the mind, the power, time, reality, space. Each one of those gems gives you the power to control all of those things. And Thanos has put it together into the Infinity Gauntlet, and the purpose of which is to kill half the universe, to appease, to win the affection of death. Okay. So half the people in the universe sort of disappear, if I recall correctly. Half the heroes, half of everything disappears. This is death. Let's read this little interaction. Darling mistress, your scorn words wounds me deeply. It was never my intention to wrong you, nor do I believe I have. So basically what happens is, as soon as Thanos obtains the Infinity Gauntlet, he becomes greater than death, right? He becomes a god. He becomes the most powerful creature. And death, I hope I'm remembering this correctly, cannot let Thanos in, for him to be her love, because he's greater. Just beautiful. He actually does it in the first Infinity Gauntlet. Okay, you better not rereading this if you don't want spoilers, but my behavior has been inexcusable. No wonder you have been angry with me. A lover should always follow through a vow given. Mephisto's like, he's really going to do it. Snap. He just snaps his fingers. Right. And we go back to New York, Spider-Man. All of a sudden, take a look. There's this many people. Now, there's only this many people. My baby, Charlie. Where'd you go, Charlie? So people are just disappearing. He's going to Mary Jane. Oh, Hawkeye's gone. Is that Black Widow? No, that's this person here. There's the Hulk. I remember this version of the Hulk. Back to the Silver Surfer and Doctor Strange. Thanos, Thanos, Thanos. And the universe is, everyone's going to get together trying to defeat Thanos. Next issue, from bad to worse. Awesome. Just a quick little flip through Infinity Gauntlet number 1. Okay. And Silver Surfer number 50. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this sort of gives you a little teaser for what's coming with the movies. And if you're interested in the story arc, Silver Surfer is where you want to start. Well, we just read Silver Surfer number 50, but Thanos Quest number 1 and number 2. And if you're interested in the Silver Surfer, you definitely want to get into the Silver Surfer earlier issues where Thanos comes back and puts together the Infinity Gauntlet. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.